$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, Mr. the Covenant, Breaker 7 Seals. Brothers and sisters, as I said, the light will be so bright. People who sit in darkness see a great light. The light be so bright. Muhammad spoke about it too. He said, right, it'd be so simple. It was a plane of food in our air. Because it's a time of intense darkness. Unprecedented means light has to be extremely bright, brightest ever. The light of the angel is the brightest light ever, because you're in the darkest night ever. So there will have no excuse, because this light is so clear, so bright. It explains everything. It leaves nothing in doubt. Explains everything. It's timely. Exposes everyone. It's very clear. So those who have eyes that want to see, it's different to see. It's almost blinding, a light so bright. And it separates. See, light has heat in it. Sunlight not only illuminates, but it separates. Because you walk down the street, man, and you feel the warmth of the light, and you feel that warm, nice, warm sunshine, and then him making sunburns. Oh, man, get out of here, man. Give me an umbrella. We enjoyed. We was in a place where sunlight, we was enjoying it. They had to flee to a place where there wasn't much sunlight at all. So it not only illuminates, it also separates, because light has heat in it. Some things illuminates, some things it ignites. That's what this light is doing. It's causing separation, which is going to be revealed in a minute. There'll be those on one side. It says there'll be separation. It goes on one side, and with the sheep on the other side. Is that what it said? And the lambs on one side, the wool on the other side, the tares and the wheat and so forth. How do you think that's going to happen? What does the Son of Man come with? He said it come with a sharp sword. It's a sharp sword with truth. Mind war. We leave nothing to chance taking care of the mind and the body. So you got Master Muhammad. He's got that super weapon. Take care of the physical. Suleiman got the angel. Take care of the mind. And the battle is on. Take no prisoners. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Right there, that right there is evidence right there. Because they're totally aware of it. I said to them, no one has ever, in the years that I've put out there, they stepped and said, boo. Hey, I mean, I can do that. why would they say this? Why they collect $5,000? It's a win-win. They get $5,000. If I don't pay up, then they can expose me as a liar. And a thief or whatever. No, they don't touch it. Because they can't. It's like so bright. See? Light comes on and roaches hide, running hide. They don't stand and try to fight the light. They stand right, running hide. What they do? They don't come back. Hey, no, I can no. They don't challenge that. They run and hide. Can we put this light out somehow? It's gonna be bothering in a minute because they're up against the wall right now. When you get up the wall and no place else to turn, then you're. The man's already turned violent. I think they're trying to poison me, but it's not going to work. Move on, brothers and sisters.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? $5,000. Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
See, it's clear they're guilty of that, brother and sister, do it all the time. Just believe part of the book, disbelieve the other. How can they never talk about the message of the covenant? It's very clear. It's right there. With Elijah, right there. With the covenant, right there. Never mentioned. What's wrong with that? Oh, the crime. Well, it says you have to believe both. I'll show you that in a minute. More on, brothers and sisters. This is sick. This is very sickening, but you gotta expose the shit before you can get rid of it. You got to expose the shit before you can get rid of it, right? You expose it, right? That shit there, okay. That's exposed for you. Otherwise, you're stepping in it. You understand?
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Pfleger as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
yes, sir,
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. Yes, sir. So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you. Go ahead.
One more time, brother.
3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. 5. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold, therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. 6. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth.
Yeah, that's the side talking there. You can come and kick ass. But that previous one, think about it, brothers and sisters. Nobody on earth, no one on earth believe that shit he just said, but him and the fools with Farrakhan. Nobody believes that. Look at, I mean, they act like that. Even when the Hindus come, they look down on you. Some of them blacker than you. The real ones are dark and actually dark and as dark as the Africans. All came from one tribe originally. And you saw those are what they call untouchables. Right? Why they call them untouchables? Because they call their skin. They don't care how good a Hindu is or whatever. If you're really black over there, you're untouchable. Same kind of ideas in China. You know, you got in China, there's black people in China. I didn't know that myself. When I was in Guam, I met some of them because I was in that area. I met this woman. She was black. She had some features, right? She was black. She was darker than me, and she said she's Chinese, born in China, and not mixed, Chinese. If you research in Japan, they also have black. I saw this picture. I did some research on Japan. You know, the wars, and they showed me these Japanese generals during World War II. I think 2 of them was black. They don't show you that here. You know, when you go to Hawaii, I've spent time in Hawaii, right? The real Hawaiians are black with nappy hair. They don't show them to you. The ones they call Polynesians because they came from China and they came from Philippines or place else. They don't have to be Hawaiians. Go and Google Hawaii and find the original, the woman that was the princess. It was a female. She was ruling Hawaii when Europeans took Hawaii from her, and she was black and had nappy hair. She got a picture of her. Tell me what you see these things. They show these old movies, space pictures and everything. Everybody in the universe is white. All this is done, it's a reason for this, brothers and sisters. See? And so, the message there, that devil, see, why is he hanging around? Because he said, man, he's to keep an eye on you. Because he know, he would never pull that shit off when Elijah was around. So he know he got them niggas. He know he got them. Because he's laughing. Because they know what they did to us. Because Stockholm syndrome. It's like some chumps go to prison, right? They ain't doing what they're doing, right? You go in Sam and come out Sally, and then he likes it. He likes it. You see, and that's what they done to us. They fucked us, and now we like it. Oh, I like white people. I like America. Yeah, I want to be American. They fucked us, and now we like it. Tell me I'm wrong. What's your name? Your name ain't Sam. You go to prison. Your name ain't Sam no more. Your name is, oh, yeah, okay. Your name is Sally. Been over. What's your religion? Hmm? You know what I'm saying? They fucked us, and now we like it. And all the nations see us. That's why when they come up and look at you strange. You know, I remember when I was, I had my own business, right? Before I started that, I was working at One Rewards. That's my first computer job. And, because when I was with the mess, I never had any contact with devils, hardly any. But now I got to work with devils after Farrakhan and Wallace tore everything down, destroyed everything. So I got my first computer job. And I used to be amazed because people like foreigners, especially like Chinese and Indians, there wasn't too many Indians around that time, right? But like Chinese and whatever, and they would come to me and say, "You're different." They would say, "You're different." I knew what they were saying because I didn't carry on, I was still FOI and I carried myself as FOI. And I changed my name. And they said, you different. That's what they were saying. You ain't like the rest of these niggas. That's what they were saying. You don't understand what they really think about you. Think about us. And they jump off because of niggas like Farrakhan and them people. Okay? They blocking the light. Okay? See, this guy, I saw this thing I'm not going to do it, but he was talking about how Wallace, he was attacking Wallace. He said, Wallace said, I'm American, and if anybody come and fight America, I don't care if they're Muslim or Hindu or whatever, I'm going to stand and fight for America. Hell, Farrakhan said the same thing. It was put together, Farrakhan said the same damn thing. In fact, after he got away from Wallace, he still said that. He said, if America get attacked, he's going to fight for America. We got to protect America. America belongs to us. Remember Django? Oh, look, man. What happened? They fucked us, and now we like it. Don't have to bend over them. We just bring here, man. Come on, bend over, man. Here come Master. The man. Why do you think they used to call? See, that's the old slang. Go back to the old slang in the 50s, 60s. That's what you call them. That's probably slick, right? Or here comes the man. They call it a man because they had butt breakers back in the fields, and they would come around and they'd bend you over, especially the strongest ones, and bend you over in front of everybody else so everybody know who the man is. They fucked us, and now we like it. And these clowns walking around talking, with cross my neck. Oh, I'm a minister. You see? They fucked us, and now we like it. All the nations look at us. That's why they look at us. That's why they get rid of Elijah. See, Elijah was respected. Elijah, he went around, he left and went all over the world, all over Arabia and everything, and they respect everywhere he went. Everywhere he was respected. But Farrakhan, I tell you, when he went over there, he said he went to Baghdad. He said something outside, but then he said himself, I should get that reporter. And then I run to the airport. What you put the run for? Because you're a faggot. You're a punk. He's a punk. I know the man. I was there. When the sheep got in trouble, he did. He ran away. He couldn't get it. He ran away as far as he could. He left the believers with nothing. And now, that's what I wanted to say. I forgot to put that in today. I got him on tape. He telling a goddamn lie. He's saying that Wallace, Elijah Muhammad, reinstated Wallace. I think it's October 1974. Reinstated him back as the assistant minister. I'm going to play that tomorrow. I forgot. I'm saying because he's going to say, well, I don't care if you believe it or not. Because if you don't believe, fine. Stay over there with him. I'm going to play it tomorrow, though. And that's, to me, I don't even want to do this. Read about Jonah. Jonah didn't want to bother with this shit. God said, you got to do it. You don't bother with it. You know, you got shit in your house. You got well, you know, you got to get it out. You got to go, man, that shit, bro. Oh, you see your house, you got to get it out. So I get the mindset. Cause we got shit in the house. We got shit in the house, and it's my job to get out. Get the house out, man. So you're in the house. Somebody got to get out. No, that's the lamb's job. Get shit out of the house. If you says, wait, medical had to purify. Well, you know, if it's pure, if it's good, you don't have to purify it. You have to purify shit. If you purify the house to clean it up, that means there's shit in it. Somebody sowed the chaff amongst the wheat. Got shit in the house. Wool and sheep clothing. That's the problem. They're the ones causing all the trouble and all the crime and all that kind of stuff. Because they mixed in with us. That's why Christ said, Lord, they separated. They're here to come and separate them out. And then once separated out, we become a exceedingly great army. That's what I'm going to talk about, Legion. But he was saying, this is what Farrakhan was saying, is that, by the way, right, 76 years old, right? And memory started slipping a little bit, right? So, add another hour to the gym, memory came right back. Get that blood circulating. Right? I couldn't remember a goddamn thing a minute ago. Anyway, he was saying that Wallace came back. Now I was there. I was in Chicago right there. I wasn't just anybody. I'm not putting myself up, right? But I was, you know, they wanted me to be a minister. I didn't want to be a minister. I never wanted to be anybody. I just wanted to help out. All I wanted. And they kept trying to get me, I didn't ask for this. I didn't even want to do it. I really don't. I like being by myself. My wife can tell you. I spent 1 hour doing this. She said, you took 1 hour, you spent 1 hour talking, you talked to me for the whole 43 years we've been together. You're right. I don't talk that much. I think and study. Anyway, the bottom line is, what he was saying is that Wallace was reinstated, because I was wondering how he was going to get around this bullshit. Wallace was reinstated October 74. Now remember, Elijah departed in the beginning of 75. In fact, he departed a few days before they even told everybody about it. They didn't tell anybody about the Savior's Day in February. So he said, that's a damn lie. And I actually got another one where I got him being interviewed where Wallace actually saying that he was excommunicated, if you want to use that word. He was exiled. He been saying himself. Farrakhan lying because somebody probably asked him, how did Wallace get in charge? Because you was the top guy at the time, you was the main minister. It either been you or the supreme captain, but you the minister, you'd been the top, you'd been sitting in Elijah's seat. He telling a lie. Wallace was not reinstated. Wallace was a permanent, in fact, Wallace himself, he was permanently excommunicated before around 73, somewhere around there. Because I remember he came, Elijah came back for the last time, I think it was 72, 73, and about 6 months later, he started talking that shit again. He was finally excommunicated totally. Because he said, how did he get in charge? He wasn't involved. When he was a student, he was the minister, assistant minister. That's a lie. Total lie. And I got the proof. I'm not going. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Go get this. Like I said, I got the tape. Him saying that. I know where to get the tape. Where Wallace is saying he was actually excommunicated. Not just excommunicated from the nation. He couldn't even see his own. He said he couldn't even see his own family. Couldn't even see his own mama. He's saying himself. This guy's a goddamn liar. What he's trying to do is trying to explain why. Because the punk. They punked him. He was supposed to take charge, and they punked him. He was scared. They told him if he stepped up, they're going to kick his ass. So he sat down and said, let Wallace bust him in his ass. That's exactly what happened. He was wild as his bitch. Oh, he talked, yeah, I'm talking like this. Because that's what, we're talking about shit, and I'm not going to call it manure. He's telling a goddamn lie. He was wild as his bitch for years. So, no, you was right with him for years. I was there. You was bad mouthing him. You helped. You sat back and let Wild rip the whole nation off. You didn't say a goddamn thing. Nothing. You're the only one in the nation that could have stood up. Maybe the Supreme Captain probably could have, but you was the main person in the nation could stood up. And when they went to court, you could have said something. You said a damn thing. And whenever they got they threw you in the curve, the side of the curve like a too big hole. He's a coward. That's why he got that pimp scar around his cheek. Everybody know what that is? He's a coward. He didn't help the believers. He stole the money, and he even said the believers, some went crazy, some went back to prison, everything else. He never help any of them? No. Nothing. And when the pressure came on, he ran off. We were going to get back on stage and shake his ass with Calypso. So don't try to put him up like he's some kind of king or God or he fight for a black. He don't fight for a goddamn thing. He fight for himself. We don't even fight for himself. He's a coward, pure coward. Plus he pimped his sisters because he can't get those males to do a goddamn thing. So he had sisters out there pimping, doing fundraisers so he can put more steaks on his plate. Big old $500, $2,000, $10,000 rings on his fingers and stuff. You know, when the mess was around, he used to drive around a Rolls Royce. I couldn't say, how the hell? No, he's supposed to be a minister of Chicago, number 7 in New York. He took over after Malcolm. That's one of the reasons I had to get rid of Malcolm. Because Malcolm, man, he might have been hypocrite and everything else. One thing about Malcolm, he wasn't no damn punk. They knew they had to get rid of Malcolm because Malcolm would never went down like that. It wouldn't have went down like that with Malcolm, not like that. I don't have nothing to say about good about Malcolm, but I said one thing, he wasn't no goddamn punk. He wasn't a coward. That's why they had to get rid of Malcolm. They set him up and got rid of him because they know if he was around and the message was gone, ain't no end well, they could have did what they did. That wouldn't have went down with Malcolm. But it went down with this clown because he's trying to explain why he didn't take charge. When he always tell everybody, why didn't God pick me? I was. He said always push shit like that. No, he picked because you're a goddamn punk. You're a coward. Your whole goddamn family. And then you got this son, he's supposed to be a supreme captain. He talking that old bullshit. Step up here. Step to me. Step to me. I'm 76 years old. Step to me. Bunch of fucking cowards. I mean, that really got me upset. I saw that. That really got me. I ran across last night. I'm going to show it. Come on. He tried to pretend, trying to cover up the fact that why he didn't take over. Because he's a goddamn coward. He's a punk. He said his mother had to beat his ass to stop him lying. So he's a holy child. That's what he claimed. Birthed by God. So he claimed. So his mother tried to abort his ass 3 times. His father's the devil. But no. And so he saw his own mouth. He said she had to teach him to love black people. Why would you have to teach a bird to love birds? You see what I mean? He said out his own mouth. He's not only a cow, but he's stupid. Legion. What? Read Legion. Legion, that's him. Louis Eugene Grounds, NOI backwards. He want to argue about the G. He can argue all he wants to. Because when I first looked into that, he said his mother's name, the maiden name was Grounds. And then when I published it, and I went back again, they said, they said, that was a woman, some white woman in Texas. I said, how the hell that happened? They started changing stuff around. But they couldn't change the fact he said his name is Louis Eugene. Right? But he said Walcott. No, Walcott was not his father's name. According to him, His mother was living with this guy named Walcott. He's got a brother by this, that mother had by this Walcott guy. But she was raped by another guy. Not Walcott. But she was living with Walcott. So that makes her a hoe. Because sometimes you say it was rape. So okay, I got that one. You raped him, okay, sister, you shouldn't have been raped. But then now he says, well, no, he was sleeping with him or some bullshit. I don't know what the hell we're talking about. But the bottom line is that Walcott that wasn't her maiden name. See? The actual maiden name they had her was Sarah Mae Grounds. Louis Eugene Grounds turned into our back. That's what his name. That's my name, Legion. And we're many. Yeah, because he's a demon. That's what he get. You know, Nicodemus. He talking about Nicodemus. He don't get the demon in part of it because Nicodemus went to Jesus and just said, "I don't give a damn how right you think you are. You gotta be born again because he's a goddamn demon." He told him, "I don't care. I'm right. I do everything right. What's wrong with that? Why would Jesus have a problem with that? Jesus. Why would he have a problem with that? Read about Nicodemus. Why would he have a problem with Nicodemus? Nicodemus, he was a righteous man. So I would do everything right. Nah. You gotta be born again." He tried to say, well, that means you gotta accept Jesus and that. That didn't mean that. But he just said that. No, you gotta be born again. Because you're born a devil. In black skin, Nicodemus, demon. Half man, half woman. Excuse me, half man, half devil. Demon. Demon. That's where it comes from. Like South Suleiman. Son of man comes from Suleiman. But see, y'all don't understand that's too deep for them. You're going to find out in a minute. It don't come from, he's a son of a man. We're all a son of a man. It don't mean it. It comes from, it's a play on words, Suleiman. Son, or, because he would be the son of David. So soon be the wisest man ever lived. Wouldn't that be the son of man? He's black. He's one that builds the temple. David would be his father. David's one slave Goliath. Goliath is false Israel. I mean, it's very simple. But anyway, he's a goddamn coward. And like I said, and destroyed Nation Islam, lost everything, left the believers system with nothing. They lost their homes. Some went homeless and everything else. He was right on while I was with them. He didn't help. And then when the shit got hot, he ran off. He's a goddamn coward. Let me calm down. Blood pressure's getting up. I mean, woo, that caught me off guard when I said, damn, are you serious? You can't take credit for that. You're blaming the believers for everything. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Oh, one of his excuses was the reason why he didn't step up because he didn't want a bloodbath. He got all kinds of stupid ass excuses. He didn't want a bloodbath. Really? So it was you let wicked people take over because you. So but you got the Tesco fortitude. So Elijah said that. Oh, I don't want trouble with America, so I'm just not going to teach Muhammad's teachings. That's what he said. I don't want a bloodbath. God damn a bloodbath. You stand for the truth. Which they Prophet Muhammad, there was all kinds of bloodbaths when he wasn't in a battle, he wasn't even a soldier. He stood up like a soldier. He went to war, got wounded. Yeah, it was plenty of bloodbaths. About Joshua. About Abraham. But it might be a bloodbath, so I just sit there and let them shit over Elijah Muhammad's teaching everything else because I didn't want a bloodbath. Really? Well, he still thinks the same way now, don't he? That's what you want? Oh, so you get in a battle, somebody gets shot. Let's give up, man. Ain't that what he said? Let's give up. We might get killed. Let's give up, man. I gotta stop. My blood pressure. I feel my blood. I feel my blood pressure getting up, brother. Says I might have a stroke over here in a minute. If I pass out, just call 911. The way I'm doing. I don't like this job. Gotta deal with this shit. That's what Joey didn't want. He didn't want to deal with this shit. I hate deal with this is shit here. Oh shit. I hate dealing with it. But it's in our house. It's got to be cleaned out. And I got a job to do it. I told you I didn't like this job. I never wanted it. And I found out about it. Oh man. But we got shit in our house. And if you know you got shit in your house, you should get it out. You don't want your family and everything get stepping shit, right? See what I'm saying? So I got to, so now I can recognize the shit there. So I got to wait until somebody else come and do it? No. You see, you walk outside, and you walk downstairs, you see a big bottle of shit in the house. What you going to do, call your wife and tell her to get it? Call your children to come and get it? Or you going to step up and do what you're supposed to, clean the shit up? But now you got shell over your hand and everything else, but you clean it up. They don't have to be dealing with it. That's what I'm going to do. I got to do with this shit. That's really, that's what it said. It said, who the Lord will consume with spirit of his mouth. That means, why do you say spirit of his mouth? You got to taste the shit too? Destroy the brightness of his coming. This Aaron was nothing but shit. This guy nothing but shit, total 100%. I don't like it, but that's my job to do it. So I'm cleaning it up. I'm going to get it clean. It's getting clean now. Right? 35 years dealing with this shit. I didn't want, I have to admit, I tried to avoid it. Joe tried to say, man, I don't want to deal with that. Joe took off and ran into a whole feel this shit, boy. But anyways, they come back and say, okay, I got to clean this shit up. So here it is. So you got the sealed Bible. That's what he coming out of because you don't know anything about the breaking the seals. And all those clowns out there, if any of them broke the seals, if they broke the seals, tell them, explain to you what's in there. They talking about, oh, well, I mean, it says the Lamb will break the seals. It said, well, nobody could do it but him, so you couldn't be misled. So if they haven't broken the seals, maybe you might not agree that I broke the seals, but if you can agree that they haven't broke the seals, you shouldn't be talking to them. Because the Lamb will come after Elijah. So if they haven't broken the seals, that means they're discredited right there. So right now, you can eliminate them right away. And Farrakhan, with all this ignorant, stupid ass, dumb shit, as far as I know, he's never claimed to have broken the seals. Elijah Muhammad never made that claim either. And Master Muhammad never made that claim either. And I've said it, and I've also can prove it. Women, brothers and sisters. Wow, that time goes so fast. I can't believe that. Okay, I'm going to have to cut this short, brothers and sisters. A second. Man, it's just today. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's so simple. All you got to just follow Exodus. If you just follow Exodus, it's gonna go wrong. I didn't write Exodus. Read Exodus. God will come, or you talk out the man never go. I'm definitely not gonna cover all this today. No way. I haven't got halfway through it. I always unbelievable. So much to say, brothers and sisters. It's just me. Can't depend on their mouths to do it because they don't do it right. Get things confused. Let's move on. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can read at your leisure. Book of Mark, right? It's talking about here's the Lamb. They call him. See, Jesus. That I don't like using that name anymore because it's not a real name. It's a fake name. I proved it. I give anybody $1,000, prove them wrong. That's the name they made up. It's not in the Bible anywhere. Not in the manuscripts. Anyway, I'm move on. Anyway, this some of Mark says, man, us was howling and screaming, and because we was beating ourselves, because we didn't have a mind. We had a mind that the devils gave us. That's it. They made us into this and gave us knowledge we have, and so we can go along with it, which is against us. So we was beating ourselves. Knowledge we have, Christianity, all that stuff, has beaten ourselves. Plus, we got the demons around, right? But we come to that. So anyway, they finally recognized Joshua. And you see him, and they ran to him. See, because that tells you about what it said in Malachi. It says, the one you seek, so they be seeking him. So they finally, oh, that's him. So they finally realized, hey, he's the one. So they ran to him, and he gave him his mind back. But while he was doing it, you got this one here. So like I said, I can't do this whole thing, bro. So I was going to do is, I can't believe I ran. It was so fast. So he was under control of this person called Legion. So Joshua asked Legion, asked person, what's your name? My name is Legion. Louis Eugene grounds and I backwards. And Legion said, hey man, what you doing? You messing my thing up here. So my name is Legion. We're many. It's many of us. Many demons. Because they use evil spirit. That demons are evil spirits. They were evil spirits. My name is Legion. We are many. See? Evil spirits are demons. That's another word for demons. Evil spirits. He tried first to confront it, Joshua, or son of man, or they want to call him Jesus. That we don't have to use that. That's the name you're familiar with. So but then before you could say apple pie, you start crying because a coward. I told you right there, it's a coward, right? Look and see, he started begging him. And he asked, what is thy name? He said, my name is Legion. We're many. He was talking tough then, right? And then, right before you can blink your eye, then he said, boys, please don't send me out of the country. Please don't send me out of the country. Please. Big old tough, hard, core, firm. Please don't leave me out of the country. So even that tells you right there. See? So let me stay here, right, with the devils. Or the swine. That's the devils. That's what the fire company's saying. I got one. I'm gonna show it in a minute if I have time. We say I don't want to leave here. I like it here. You want to stay with his people, because his people are the devils. He's a black-faced devil. That's the Exodus. That's the Mark. So then they separated them from, the Exodus, they separated those with Aaron from those that weren't with Aaron. Those with the Lord, messed with the covenant, those with Aaron. Same thing. Same story right there. Well, who's that separation? Remember, they separated the ones that was in Aaron's camp. Right? That's what Exodus said. They were in Aaron's camp. Aaron was running it when Moses was gone. So when he came back, he went to Aaron's camp. It's very simple. He went to Aaron's camp, and then hey, what's your problem, man? Why you mess these people? He went to Pharaoh's camp. So why you get these people all messed up like this? And then he got to blame the people. He's a goddamn coward, even there. Aaron was a damn coward. Oh, it's their fault. Well, you're the goddamn leader. It was their fault. He made me do it. Everywhere you look, he's a coward. Everywhere he looks, a coward. That's why I blew his ass up. Because he took back, castrated him because he don't need any balls. Because he's a coward. That's why Allah took away from him. Chastisement. Curse. Because he's a coward. His son's a coward too. Talking about supreme captain. Step to me, Mustafa, whatever your stupid ass name is. That's why they got rid of Brother Khalid. Khalid. See? See what I'm saying? Because he was a man. He tried to stand for Elijah. I don't know how he got hung up with this fool, but anyway, he did. So that's happened. So threw him, kicked him out. So he, okay, sent him over the devil's name and fighting each other. Right? That's the story. You read the story yourself. You read the rest of it. Coward, oh, please don't make me leave the country. He was tough at first, talking tough. Come on, brothers and sisters. Let's read this number go, right? Who is the original man? Who is the color man? He's going to tell you, remember, this is this. And my brother, but they claim, but then he's going to show, see, these people are sick. He's going to show a picture of Master Muhammad. They get up and talk, in the name of Allah, and they start lying their ass off. What do you think will happen to them? In the name of Allah, and they'll lie their ass off and everything. And I can prove it. Look at this one right here. He did this in the name of Allah, didn't he? Who is the original man? Right? The original man is the Asiatic black man, maker, owner, cream planet, father of civilization, God, of the universe. Now, this is what, this Master Muhammad, remember he showed Master Muhammad's picture? Look at him, right? We honor him. Right? That's what he said. Was he honor him? Now, who is the color man? The color man is a Caucasian white man. Or Yaku's grafted devil, the skunk of the planet Earth. What is devil? A grafted man which is made weak, wicked, or any grafted live germ from the original is a devil. Can you reform the devil? No. All prophets have tried to reform him, devil, but were unable. They have agreed that it cannot be done unless he be grafted. We graft him back into the original man, which takes 600 years. So instead of losing time, grafting him back, they have decided to take him off the planet, who numbers only one to every 11 rich people. In other words, is less than 1%, less than 10%. That's Master Muhammad saying now. I'm gonna play something with Farrakhan. Say, "No, I'm gonna close. I can't do the whole thing. That's a lot. I can't do it even. I get it talking, bro. It's so much, but after I got, man. See, when he so much, he's a dog. But he caught me off guard with that one. That's what I tape. He caught me off guard. Boy, so I said, okay, I got make martial arts, brother, because that we got me off guard with that one. Right? Trying to pretend. Because that was a question. I had a question out there. How in the hell that Wallace get control of the NOI? Because he was turning me out. Then he come back and said, "Oh no, he got reinstated 3 months before Elijah departed." That's a goddamn lie. And I even got Wallace out of his own mouth saying that he was actually exiled because he see his own family. Ooh boy, he caught me off guard with that one. See. Okay, let's look. Okay. Why did Muhammad kill him? Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna just move on, brother and sister, because I want to show this. I gotta close. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's gonna be a great bloodbath. So I will continue this tomorrow. I'm a little more calm. My blood pressure's now. Okay, I'm gonna do this one right here. Then I'm gonna do the Exodus. All you gotta do is read Exodus. Exodus, you can't go wrong. It laid out real easy for you. Exodus, so look at Exodus. That's right, Muhammad. His power being that wheel. Without the wheel, you said, well, he's just somebody, another Arab or something, right? In other words, the wheels get that's what he tells them. He got the power to destroy the civilization. That's why He's the God, and that's why you need to pay attention to him. Because and this is all powerful will, right? Okay. So he would come and raise Elijah, talk about the will and everything. That's so respect, because I got, I'm just not talking. I got power. I can destroy civilization. Right? Okay. And then, boom, he raised Elijah. That's what Exodus says. And they agree with that. They agree with that much. They say, yeah, Elijah, see, you got Elijah. His name is actually Elijah. We said Malachi, right? And then he says Elijah would ask for a spokesman, which he wasn't anointed. That's another goddamn lie. All you got to do is read it. The God was against it. He actually got physically angry with Elijah for asking for it. He said, no, you don't need him. But Elijah insisted. He said, okay, you're going to get him. Remember, but he doesn't make it to the promised land. He claims the Messiah. He doesn't make it to the promised land. You don't have no evidence. He died in the wilderness. And if you read carefully, you find how he died, why he died. And he was none but trouble in Elijah's absence. And you read Exodus, because God said, man, send more down. That damn Aaron, Farrakhan went crazy down there. He turned away. Everything you said, he turned against me, turned against you, turned people around, made them back fools and everything else. That's what it says. Read Exodus. That's what he's done. So just read Exodus. If you're pregnant, don't you keep doing what you're doing. I'm breaking through because our people out there, right? I don't want our people to be lost for lack of knowledge. Good people. Those are the ones I'm looking after. The wheat. Damn the chaff. That's why I say you got to break through. It says people's darkness, because when the light came, they would be in dark. It says, did you read it carefully? It says, those who sat in darkness seen a great light. Well, that means before the light came, it was in darkness. So who was hiding the light? See? So then he come and said, number trouble. That's what Exodus says. And then what happened? Then it says, Joshua come. Joshua, which is what you call Jesus. He would come with a message of covenant. He break the 7 seals, and he bring his message of covenant. That's the covenant Arabia. That's he come with. That's why I call him message of covenant. But they don't talk this part. They don't even mention this part at all. Never mention this one. They stop right here with Farrakhan. They don't ever talk about the message of covenant. Wait a minute, it says it right there. Joshua is the one that takes us home. He's the Messiah. He's the one. Read the manuscripts. But they never mention him. Why? They stop right here with this clown with his mouth wide open, eating shit. He's pissing shit in a bag right now. He's incontinent. He can't wipe his own ass. But he's the Messiah. They stop right here. But he said we ain't going nowhere. So he didn't. Not only he hides the fact of the covenant, but he calls it a lie. But he says we ain't going nowhere, and that's what the message of the covenant is all about. That was the promise of God Himself. He said we ain't going. So he called God a liar, and he's saying this is a bullshit. They never this shit don't even happen. Don't even listen. Nobody come with this stuff. Don't even listen to it because it ain't happening. So why is he doing that? Because he's an agent. This is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of Joshua. He's the warrior that takes us home to kick ass.
And when the people saw that Elijah delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Farrakhan, and said unto him, Make us gods, which shall go before us, for as for this Elijah, the man that brought us up out of the land of America.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk nothing. It's right there. And then they bypass Elijah, bypass Aaron, and pass the torch to Joshua, because he died. He was destroyed in the wilderness. Him and all his followers got wiped out. They killed all him and his followers. It's right there in Exodus. You can't go wrong with that. Because he came back, he separated all the Levites from Aaron's camp. Aaron was in control. He separated all of them out. Said, go with the Lord, with the message of the covenant. And then he killed all of Aaron, all if they can. And they went, and And they separate everybody. Remember, Aaron was in control. He goes to Aaron camp and separate these people out. So the people that stayed, they had to stay with Aaron, right? And then they wiped out all the Aaron's people, including him. That story is clear. See? But they don't talk about him. They don't talk about, and they don't talk about the covenant either. He's the messenger of Arabia, because they say, oh, we ain't going nowhere. So this is what they give you. Oh. They had just remember his powers and his will. All that will don't exist in UFO. Remember the program for years, denying it. Why do people say why denying it? Because if it did exist, it's our power. He's our God. He ain't got no power. Ain't no UFO out there. That's bullshit. You see, that's why it's there. And then plus they put Wallace, and what he did, destroy everything Elijah did, everything, totally. He didn't save none of it. He got rid of the name. He said Elijah was a liar. He got rid of all of it, totally. That was their job. That was their job. Got rid of it totally. See, this is the version they're giving you. See? That's how Exodus says. This is what they're giving you. Because they're taking your vision away. Because that vision you had, that was not sure. That was the vision Elijah gave you. Vision unite people. But we're all divided against each other. Because we have a common vision. Everybody got a vision. Hindus got a vision. The Buddhists got a vision. Everybody got a vision but us. People don't have a vision, perish. So this is giving you, so what's next? He does that, then what? Then he's the Messiah. And nobody after him. That's one of the confusion they have right now. Because as far as they're concerned, ain't nobody after Farrakhan, but Farrakhan's sitting and pissing in the bag. He's on a deathbed. He can't even wipe his own ass. So what are they going to do? They're trying to figure out what kind of bullshit they'll come up with. Because he's the Messiah. That ain't what the scriptures say. That's what Exodus say. That's what they say. Then what? And then L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology. See? That's who they talk about, oh, Farrakhan saved us, he healed us. They talk about Scientology, and it's a fact, because that was my thing. After 3 years, I had to come back and talk to him. I was over there for 6 months or more, I guess, right? And they had their little meetings afterwards on telephone, what do they call it? Everybody's on, right, on whatever they call that, right? And all they talk about is L. Ron Hubbard, engrams and stuff. I'm saying, well, I thought this was about Elijah. I'm talking about him. And then a couple of times I said, hey, what is something about Elijah? They mute me. That's what they're talking about, heal them. Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard. See, and then this is the religion he give you, Sunnism, the golden calf. If you understand Angel Key, you understand the golden calf. That's what's going over there. And L. Ron Hubbard is Scientology. This is the version they giving you. He ain't nothing. Remember, all of a sudden he's a God now. Why talking this now? For years, the originator. You can't pray to him because he's flesh. Got the tape saying it. Elijah wasn't nothing. They ain't teach Elijah Muhammad's teachings. No way. They give you the books and that kind of stuff. They ain't teach his teachings. Because he been talking about this is this. I just show you what Elijah Muhammad taught. Here's Scientology. And he's the Messiah.
And when the people saw that Elijah delayed to come down out of the mount,
I'm going to have to pass this, bro. Since I want to get to
and the Lord said,
I'm going to close.
And Elijah,
I'll get you all this tomorrow. Hopefully.
And Elijah, and it came to pass. And when Elijah saw that,
okay, I'm gonna play a little of this, bro. And then one more thing I'm gonna and about Master Prophet, remember? Now he's the God, right? Now this way that's changed up now. This is what it was saying before. Listen to this.
So long till they don't know the birth record, so they just say from remotest antiquity, this is the house. that God used to manifest his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and power in and through. Where is he now? Wherever he want to be. I'm not going to say I know where he is, but I'm glad his power is everywhere. I think I know where he is. I don't want to say because I could be wrong. But he's wherever he wishes to be. Are we to pray and worship Master Farad Muhammad? You don't worship the flesh of any man, because the flesh is going to die. But in that flesh is a wisdom and a power superior to any human being on the earth. So when we look to Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, we look to him. And when he ain't no longer here, the power is going to be here. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he would live a minimum of 400 years, but 400 years ain't no time. He'll be gone. But before he goes, the foundation of what he lays will never be erased from the planet. That's a God. He prays. He prays. He don't pray to himself. You don't say, surely I have turned myself to me. Who does he pray to? He prays in remembrance of him who originated that which he came in. He came in this body. You can't ignore him who originated this.
See the bullshit, brothers and sisters? Elijah Muhammad made very clear God's man can't mean anything other than man, right? But he just said God ain't. You can't worship flesh, so he prays to something that's not flesh. It's a mystery God. Don't even give him a name, but it's a mystery God. And we can't pray to Master Muhammad, we praise mystery God. You want to tell me that's Elijah Muhammad's teachings? Now you got a new tune now. Because they're trying to, remember, who the Lord was consuming the spirit of his mouth, they're being consumed over there, and they're back against the walls, and now they're trying to back out. Oh, no, he's a God. He's Master Muhammad. Is that what he's saying there? That's what he's been saying. Something originated, something nobody knows anything about. And that Master Muhammad. But he's a God. Gods don't pray to anybody. He's a God, but he prays to some mystery being. They don't, and in fact, it's even worse than that. Because based on what he's saying, he's not even praying to a being, he's praying to a memory. Goddamn memory. Oh boy, it's a big shit, boy. I'm gonna play this one thing, then I'm close, bro, so if I can find it.
So long till it.
Okay, this is what I'm going to play. Hold on. I'll play two things and I'm close. This should tell you everything you need to know. Remember how what Master Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad said about the devils? Elijah Muhammad said we fools stay here. But listen to him. He said he represents Elijah Muhammad. Remember the lesson I showed you a few minutes ago? Listen to this.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Warakuddin and I have had disagreement. But his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
When the Muslims were
Okay, bro, since I'm play this last part. Now, see, when you break the seals, those seals, the 7 seals, they're actually talking about America specifically. All things that happen to America specifically. 1/4 of the earth is talking about America. But you need to understand, you're key to understand that. But secondly, said they're 100% wicked. That's what God said. They cannot be redeemed, cannot be reformed. That's what God says, right? He claimed to be representing God, right? And they have to be taken off the planet. So he said just the opposite. Did these represent Master Prophet Muhammad? Or did Master Prophet Muhammad change your mind? And listen to this. That's how you feel about America, right? Oh, he loves America. He wants to save America. Oh, who says so much love for America? Please, America, right? Remember Legion? Don't make me leave the country. Now listen to what he said about you. This is what he got to say about you. Remember, America ripped us, beat us, raped us, tortured us for hundreds of years. Terrorized, he had to terrorize. Abraham had a vision of Holocaust. You have to terrorize people to keep them in that kind of condition for that long. And they changed us, they destroyed us. Because when you hate something, you change it 100%. That's how you know you hate it. If you love it, you don't change it. You got your favorite ice cream, you ain't going to change it. If you don't like it, you're going to change something else or you're going to get rid of it. That's how you know. Have we been changed 100%? Do we have any remnant of, hold on. Is there any remnant of what we was before?
were alive.
Right? That should hate us 100%. So now this is what he says about, see how he does them. They do all this stuff to us. Break us, destroy our parents, everything, right? And us. Even now. But we're responsible for what they did to us. We're responsible for it. But now see what he has to say about us. How much he feels about us. Okay, let's move on. Put seatbelts on.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. You now on both sides. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
Group of help the sound turned off, brothers and sisters.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother.
Both sides.
Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right.
We owned buildings. We owned farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
Let the worms eat that ass. Say think about you, but the devil's doing stuff to us. Oh no, I'm not happening to them. But you, because you put up steaks on his plate and putting up big old $10,000 rings on his finger, I hope that, and I put Allah now, right? Remember love, Allah is supposed to be love. Remember all the love stuff? I pray Allah, worms, eat your, thank you Allah, for that worms eat your ass. What do you think about you? Both sides, male and female. But for the devil, I don't know that now. But you, because you ain't put no steak on his plate, and he pimped the devil sisters because they do fundraising stuff to put gas in his car, steaks on his plate, right? So he can bounce all around the world with his bullshit because he can't get the males to do anything. Pimp. Play it one more time, them clothes, brothers and sisters. Sick. Notice that little pimp scar? That's how he got nothing hate for you. And you the one feeding him, made him a multi-millionaire. How did he get being me? He don't have a business anywhere. And his dumb-ass son, probably Supreme Captain, he's a millionaire too. No, that he's a Chicago cop. I didn't know that one. You Google, that's what they say. Maybe they're lying. They say he's on the payroll as a cop, a Chicago cop. He's supposed to be the Supreme Captain of the Nation of Islam. Play this one more time, bro. I'm going to close. He neglected to say he's the one that killed the nation. Him and Wallace. He neglected that part. They destroyed everything. When the Muslim was alive, who killed him? You did.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother minister. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother minister. Both sides. That's real.
Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right. That's right.
We owned buildings.
That's right.
We owned farmland.
That's right.
We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are.
Oh, somebody cut that off. I don't know how to do that. Let me do it another way. Number close. Boy, they don't want you playing that one second time.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother minister. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother minister. Both sides.
That's real. Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right.
We owned buildings. We owned farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
Let the worms eat their ass. Thank you, Allah. Let the worms eat their ass. Think about you. But the devils, I don't want what's going to happen to them. I want to stay here. I like it here. Legion. Louis Eugene Grounds. And I'm right backwards. Move on, bro, and system close out.
Aramaic Bible in play.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
"49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? 50. But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. 52. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. 53. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother Millie. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother Millie. Both sides.
Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
Right.
We own buildings. We own farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody. These are these people that you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work, and they've tried. We've tried. Everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it?
Well, you heard that. Donald Trump is a believer in eugenics. He believes that white people are the superior race. And inner city is code for black people. And he believes black people cannot now work on the farms. I guess they're not good enough for that. So Hispanic people can do it because they have the backs for it. This is what this man is saying out loud in interviews. He is a racist. It's been proven time and time again. The man had Mein Kampf on his bedside table that he would read at night. Enough to let you know where he stands on that. Just more outrageous, racist things from Donald Trump. They want to arrest those who can do the farm work, well, until their backs give out. And then he'll probably ship them to El Salvador or some other country. Just more vile statements from the president and let you know where he stands.
When they were arresting people for praying outside of abortion clinics. I mean, I do think the UK, and I say this as, someone who is half English, I think it's like reached, or it is quickly reaching a point where democratic reforms are going to be pretty tough because of the demographic change. And that, of course, the point of importing all these people is to overwhelm the people who live there who disapprove of the program. So you don't have to care what they think because you just bring in new people, and their will becomes like all that matters. And so I don't think you're going to fix these things through elections at some point, probably pretty soon. And I just worry a place like the UK, Canada is another, a bunch of different countries in the West are at the point where they're literally revolutionary. They are poised for revolution. And as someone who really doesn't support revolution and hates violence and hates civil war above all, I'm worried about that. I mean, I don't see how this is fixed. Starmer, who's, he's just an instrument of larger forces, but he's a poisonous character, obviously, who's really hurt your country. He's in there for 4 more years. And so you wonder, people are going to start to get really radical in a scary way. I think this is going to happen. And the people in charge don't seem to care.
Well, you're already seeing it. You are seeing the anger beginning to manifest itself, and I completely understand the anger. I don't like you. I abhor any form of violence, but I do understand the anger when you have, Keir Starmer campaigned, I'm going to smash the gangs that allow these little boats to come over the channel, delivering tens of thousands of people illegally into the country. And they then get put into these so-called asylum hotels where they're given a pretty good lifestyle, certainly a far better lifestyle than many people really struggling at the moment in the UK. And of course, far from smashing the gangs, it turned out yesterday that he's smashing new records for the number of people coming in illegally on the boats. Of course. It's out of control. And the British public are reaching a point of saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole
public are reaching a point of saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly? You'd really have to force a lot of people to go back to their countries of origin, millions of people, and you need to do it really soon. And are they actually willing to do that? I don't know, but these are existential questions that we have been browbeat into ignoring for decades. But the question is, like, is Ireland Ireland? If it's majority non-Irish, oh, shut up, they're Irish. No, they're actually not Irish. Same with the UK, same with England, Scotland, Wales. Like, it's all changing so fast. Nothing like this has ever happened in all of history, except when, say, the Mongols swept across the steppe and raped everybody. Like, that was true demographic change on this scale. But even that wasn't as profound as what we're seeing in every white country around the world. I would say the West, but Australia and New Zealand also. So, like, what is that? Now, my brain is not big enough to understand what that is. I have a lot of theories about it, but I don't know if they're true. All I know is what the numbers are, and that's real, and no one feels that he can say it. Everyone's like, oh, well, if that were happening in China or India or Malaysia or Senegal, it doesn't matter. You'd be like, what the hell is that? Like, the population's totally different. Look at graduation. Pick, King's College Law School, and look at the graduation picture for the last 30 years. Who's in it? Just, like, let your eyes tell you the truth for once. Like, this is a total change in population. Is it better? Is it worse? Can't have that conversation. Who's pushing this? Does the population want it? The population clearly doesn't want it. There's no polling that's meaningful on the subject. I mean, there's no referendum on it. You don't get to decide. You've got no voice in it, other than you get to go to jail if you complain loudly enough about it. What is this? I think it's the biggest and darkest thing that has happened in the last 1,000 years, for sure. And I think it's leading somewhere really, really bad. It's not happening by accident, that's obvious, because it's only happening in white countries.
I mean, I think that...
Oh, shut up, white supremacist. Well, in fact, I'm not a white supremacist. I'm just noticing what the hell's going on.
I think most people I've spoken to about this in the UK, most people have always viewed the UK to be a very tolerant, multicultural, cosmopolitan place to live. That's why so many people want to come here. And people have no problem with that. And it's been very successful for a long period of time.
Wait, it's multicultural? What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law in a multicultural country, is Sharia law... What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law in a multicultural country, is Sharia law every bit as valid as English common?
No, people don't want Sharia law here. No.
A lot of people do. Wait, but hold on. I don't know what you mean. Multiculturalism itself is a lie designed to subvert a society. No, a society has a culture. You can argue about what it is or ought to be. It's not necessarily the same as race. It's connected to race, but it's not the same. People from different races can buy into your culture. That was kind of the beauty of the West. But a multicultural society is not sustainable. There's never been such a thing. Your society is one culture will dominate.
Hang on, Tucker. Surely the United States of America, given the very way it was created, is the epitome of a multicultural society. And my point I was going to make to you was...
It's absolutely not. No. It's a multiracial society.
Yeah.
Though it was not actually a multiracial society up until pretty recent. It was just like 90% white for most of its existence, but whatever. But you did have different peoples, you had different religions. That was all totally fine, but there was one culture, as American culture. There's no such thing as a multicultural society. It's not sustainable. One culture will overwhelm the other. Again, it's not the same as race. It's not identical to race. It's connected, but it's not the same. But multiculturalism is by definition insane. No, it's never happened. It never will happen. One culture will predominate. It will impose its values on everybody else. I mean, the gay thing, which was not a thing 40 years ago, gay was a slur, all of a sudden becomes multicultural there. There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
But those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You worship one God in every society. Sorry.
But your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
Once you start rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's
determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So those values can evolve.
There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
But those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You worship one God in every society. Sorry.
But your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. Natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
Once you start rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's multicultural, we can all live and have radically different values, that's just not true. It's never been true. It never will be true. So you're having one culture, one worldview predominate over another and dominate and suppress all dissent. That's just what it is, dude.
But
let's be honest.
I would point to the United States of America and the United Kingdom as two shining examples, albeit not completely without their flaws, but shining examples of places that are deemed by the rest of the certainly feel that about my country.
Well, I certainly think that inherent in Christianity is the notion of tolerance, and that draws from a core Christian concept, which is free will. You cannot force someone to convert. There's never been conversion by the sword in Christianity. People decide to believe in it. And so that is central to the religion, therefore it's been central to the society. Western civilization is Christian civilization. And so we call that tolerance. It's a respect for your inherent God-given right to make a choice about what you believe. Okay, so of course, that's always been a feature. My only point is, a society has a commonly agreed upon set of beliefs, rules, and laws that are the definition of the society itself. That's what a society is. So you can't have competing. You can't have, gay world and Sharia world living co-equally in a society. That does not happen. It will never happen. You have to pick one. Are we the Sharia society? Are we the party time gay rights society? Which one? And you can't face that reality. So you're just sort of snoozing along until the inevitable point where you're going to wake up and be like, my values have no bearing on what our society is anymore, because we've been invaded by other people with a totally different worldview, and they're now in charge. And that day is coming very soon for your country, and maybe it'll improve it. I don't think the UK could be a lot worse than it already is. It's this kind of disgusting, sad, self-hating, suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half English person, but that day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architect. That's a choice that we're all going to face. Suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half English. That day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architects of mass migration. Sorry.
I would question your characterization as my country as a sad, disgusting, what was the rest of it, suicidal nation. I feel none of those things. I feel very happy to be in the United Kingdom, and I feel that there are lots of very happy.
Our system, the Western system, which is very distinct from the Eastern system, very distinct, and it's distinct on this one precise point, we believe and have always believed since this country was founded, since your country became, not a pure monarchy, but even when it was a pure monarchy, the belief in the West, because of Christianity, was the worst thing you can do is punish the innocent. That's the worst thing you can do. That's worse than not punishing the guilty. And we often said that to each other. We no longer say that because there is a pretty concerted effort to blur the meaning of these terms. But I'm not going to be deterred from defining words precisely. Terror is murdering people, killing people, punishing people who committed no crime. Period.
So when the Israeli government says it has repeatedly that even though over 20,000 completely innocent children are believed to have died in their response to what Hamas did on October the 7th at the hands of the IDF, there are many on the pro-Palestinian side who say that Israel is behaving like terrorists too in the way that they have gone about conducting this war. Would you go as far as to say that?
One of the things that I really object to now is this relentless focus on Israel, which, by the way, is a foreign country that I have nothing to do with.
We've done this before. Now, maybe today things are different, and we will end up living in a nation that is sharply divided and may ultimately produce something else. But I'm an American. I love my country. I want to see it stay together. I'm interested in social cohesion, which means that I think our laws, customs, and culture have to be dominant. We can accept some diversity on the edges, but not fundamental division. I think we're in a state of fundamental division. So when I bring up Sharia law, I've sat in many discussions with many people that said, well, I don't care what people look like, but I do care about Sharia law, and I don't want that practiced anywhere near my family or in my country. And that's something you should be aware of. So the notion that someone can come here and say, well, that's part of my religion and we're going to abide by Sharia law, they're going to find serious resistance and opposition in the country.
And as I clarified,
it's because it matters. It's this thing we call societal cohesion. Nations do not exist on their own. They have a core population. Our core population from the very beginning was always at least 80% European and Christian, and about 15 to 20% African. But when you start bringing in huge numbers, millions, who are fundamentally different from the core population, you are going to get violence, anger, and conflict. How many times have you heard people say, if you bring people in from the developing world, what do you get? The developing world. And now we've got that. You can't bring in hundreds of thousands of people from Somalia, plant them, of all places, in Minnesota, and then be shocked that no, they're not Americans. They're not really interested in being Americans. They're foreigners living on American soil. Nobody wants to say that publicly. If you do, oh, well, you're a racist. Well, you know, the world is full of racists. The real war that's going to decide our fate is not going to be fought anywhere overseas. It's going to be fought right here inside the United States. Are we going to survive as a republic, as an English-speaking republic that rests on the foundations of Western civilization? Or are we going to become something else?
One point that is
The Constitution was completed in 1789. I think we had 5 million people living in the 13 British colonies. We were 90% white, that is excluding the Africans that were in the country who had been brought here as slaves. But we were 90% white. We were 90% Protestant. And this may be hard for you to believe, but the people that wrote that were trying to protect all of the Protestant sects from a state church on the model of the Church of England and the Roman Catholic Church. That's one of the reasons it was almost 100 years or more after that before people began to finally accept Catholicism as a religion, because it was viewed as political power. My point to you is the Constitution is outdated. The way we are governed is outdated. It has to be re-examined. Nobody in 1789 imagined that anybody would come to the United States except another lunatic, religious fanatical Protestant who hated the Church of England. That's what people feared. That's what they thought of. The Constitution that we have does many good things, but I would argue that the Bill of Rights is ultimately more important. The Bill of Rights is vital and essential, and that needs to be defended. But the Constitution and the way we govern and the things that we're doing, it's out of date. It doesn't fit our needs. And that's back to my comment on something given has no value. You have to earn it. And we haven't made anybody earn their place in this country. I'm talking about people like me that have been here forever. My first ancestor stepped off the boat in 1681. So we've got to get back to some notion of national service, because national service promotes national integration. It addresses some of these problems that you're discussing. Now, I know that you may not want to conform and may not want to be as I am, but I'm an American and nobody questions that. Nobody ever will. If you don't want to stand out and be questioned, then I suggest that you change your appearance, because I don't think it's life or death for you to wear what you wear.
I think this conversation.
It's not fine, because it's leading to violence that could have otherwise been avoided. You see, every great nation, every large nation can always accept some number of people into its ranks that are different from them. It's always been the case. But if you suddenly import millions, which is what's happened here and happened in Europe, then you threaten the core gene pool. What I'm trying to tell you is there's a problem. And we can all pretend that there isn't, and you can insist there isn't, but that's the view. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to address it truthfully and openly. Stop pretending it's not a problem. It's a problem.
I mean, what's also a problem is white supremacy, and that's.
No, because you're saying you're different, you're going to remain different, and you don't think that if that's not compatible with being an American, then the hell with it. That's what you're going to do.
Well, then what do you make then of, white American people who convert, let's say, to Islam and choose to cover? Are they not American anymore?
Listen, if they want to do that, that's obviously their business. I don't know how many are out there that do that. I think again, it's ill-advised. I think you have to hold the society together. There has to be an agreement on certain things, customs, culture, way of life. And unfortunately, if you're going to practice rigidly a brand of Islam that demands certain things, and this is why I asked right off the bat, do you support Sharia law?
I'm a Muslim. What being a Muslim means is I follow the guidelines of my religion, which is a peaceful.
Does your religion dictate to you Sharia law?
My religion dictates to me to be a good human being, to be good to my neighbors, to
most powerful force in today's Republican Party is represented by what Charlie Kirk said. It is this drive to make America a white Christian nation. I got to tell you, this is what they say privately. This is now what they say publicly. This is what Charlie Kirk said publicly.
And Joe, again, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, because you know these people very, very well. Yeah. You said it yourself. You were one of the strongest voices. You were one of the folks who understood the incendiary language when you were in Congress, when you had your radio show, and how people loved when you did it. And then when you chose to apologize for that and turn away from it, oh my God, they literally have just tried to destroy you because of that.
Yeah, again, you know the deal, Roland, right? I came out publicly against Trump 7 years. For 7 years, I put up with death threats on a regular basis. Nobody is welcome in that party unless you bow down to what this force is, this MAGA force. And again, look, there have been some people on the left who've celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. Shame on them, be better people. But this is much worse, Roland, what my former friends are doing on the right, because they are turning this into a holy war. When you say we declare war on the left because of what some 22-year-old young guy did in Utah, and then you declare war on the whole left, that's a lot worse than celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder, because that's dishonest, but that's also inciting hate and violence. And Roland, look, Trump's an idiot. So yeah, Trump says the left, the problem in the country is the left. J.D. Vance is not an idiot. What did J.D. Vance say today, right? He was subbing for Charlie Kirk on his radio show, and he spent the entire show going after the left, going after them, they, them. Man, Democrats need to wake up, Roland. This is a really serious deal by my former colleagues. The stuff that I hear privately from them right now, Roland, for the last 5 days, I mean, they want to go to war. This is a holy war.
Oh, it absolutely is. And what really jumps out at me on this very thing here, Joe, and I've been saying this, I played the speech 2 weeks ago that mainstream media just ignored, of Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt, who gave a speech at NatCon, Peter Thiel's group, where he literally gave a white nationalist speech, where he said our ancestors fought for this country to be ours and no one else. He was talking about white people. He was basically saying, if you are Black, Latino, Asian American, or even Native American, America is not for you. And folks just ignored it. And so people need to understand, again, what they're saying, why they're saying it. And yes, there are many evangelicals, any very conservative white Christians who are pushing this as well. And you nailed it. They want a holy war. They want a race war. They want this to be a white country. It is clear as day.
And Roland, really important point. Charlie Kirk at only 31, the impact he had, because he was one of the most successful pushers of this white Christian nationalistic idea. And so I think that's why all of his defenders are out there so strenuously denying he said anything divisive, because they know if you really go through Charlie Kirk's public record, everything he said about people of color and Black women and Muslims and gays and transgenders, if people took the time to go through all of that, and that was put out for average people to see, they'd be blown away by it. That's why his defenders are like supercharged right now. They don't want that record to be seen.
Today, you mentioned, and I mentioned as well, Vice President J.D. Vance sitting in to do his show. And listen to this man just blatantly lie, Joe. Play it.
I read a story in The Nation magazine about my dear friend, Charlie Kirk. Now, The Nation isn't a fringe blog. It's a well-funded, well-respected magazine whose publishing history goes back to the American Civil War. George Soros's Open Society Foundation funds this magazine, as does the Ford Foundation and many other wealthy titans of the American progressive movement. The writer accuses Charlie of saying, and I quote, "Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously." But if you go and watch the clip, the very clip she links to, you realize he never said anything like that. He never uttered those words. He made an argument against affirmative action as a policy. He criticized a specific Supreme Court justice as an individual. He never said anything about black women as a group. He made an argument for judging people of all races and backgrounds by their own individual merits.
Bullshit.
Okay, Joe, this is actually what he said.
No, Roland, that's utter bullshit.
In fact, you know, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color.
All right, Joe. He literally said it. Not only that, Vance lied. Soros does not fund the nation. So he sat there and flat out lied.
And Roland, remind me, what's J.D. Vance's job? He's the vice president, and yet he had time today to do a radio show for a former right-wing podcaster. I mean, look what they're not even, Roland, they're not even subtle about it, what this White House is doing. They believe, man, the path to victory is fear, hate, and division. And that's what they're putting out there. That was Charlie Kirk literally going after 4 accomplished black women by saying they didn't have the brain power to get where they got. This is what he believed. And this is what MAGA believes. And that, again, Roland, broken record, that's why Charlie Kirk was so damn successful. Why he had such a big audience.
Yeah, and not only that, you take Nick Fuentes, who's to the right of Charlie Kirk. The night of or the day after Kirk was shot and killed, Fuentes had 200,000 people watching him live. And so what you have this fervor. And so when I listen to Trump and Vance and all these people talk about, how the left, they're indoctrinating. No, and you know this very well, the indoctrination. We've had people who formerly are with Turning Point USA put out videos talking about how it was really this cult-like figure, this messianic figure, as they sort of set Kirk up as, and how they want them to follow that. And so that's what's going on here. These people are not trying to have open dialogue. And not only that, Joe, you take Trump, okay? Trump was very clear in saying he was not going to call Governor Tim Walz after those 4 folks were shot in Minnesota. 2 were killed, including former Speaker of the House and her husband. Now today he's saying, oh, he never even heard of Melissa Hortman. And if the governor had asked him, he would have, of course, lowered the flags to have staff. I'm sorry. He's also lying. He knew about her. He knew about the shooting, but he was so arrogant that he said, oh, 2 Democrats, a Democrat Speaker of the House shot and killed. Yeah, I don't care, but lower the flags to have staff for Charlie Kirk. Flies body on Air Force 2. Do a memorial service at the Kennedy Center. Do another one at the Arizona Cardinal Stadium. Give him the Medal of Freedom. And I'm telling you, they're going to give him a state funeral. That's what you're seeing right now. And then you got Peter Hegseth going after members of the military who said anything negative in the aftermath of his death. You've got Kirk supporters creating a database of people of every social media post, and then even Van said in the podcast, you call their employer. So the so-called free speech people all of a sudden are saying, if you say anything negative about Charlie Kirk after what took place last week, we're going to come after you, come after your job. Oh, I thought they hated cancel culture, Joe.
Yeah. Roland, I remember back in my right-wing radio days, I would come on every day, and there was always some story about some leftist group on a college campus that couldn't handle speech that made them uncomfortable
to say.
Roland, this is scary, and you and I are old enough, man, to remember huge figures in American history who were gunned down, struck down, military leaders, civil rights leaders. We are treating this 31-year-old podcaster, MAGA influencer, like he's Jesus Christ. So I come from the right. Why are my old colleagues and friends on the right doing this, Roland? Because the right wants a religious war. Let's just call it. They want a civil war. They want a holy war. That's why they're putting him up to be some Jesus-like martyr.
Absolutely. I mean, Glenn Beck literally came out and said he was a civil rights leader. Oh, my God, stop it. Stop it. I've seen people say, I've seen a lot of these videos, I'm leaving my church because my pastor did not mention him. This was a Christian warrior. And let's just be clear. You said it, white Christian nationalists. It's slaveholder religion. We heard a lot of this stuff during slavery, during Jim Crow, things along those lines. And this whole idea about, it was about debate. It was about, exchange of ideas. I mean, come on, let's just stop it. And so we see what's going on here. We see the games that are being played. And then what gets me, Joe, is this whole deal of, oh my God, the left, how they indoctrinated him and the accused killer going to a university. The dude was at a university for 1 semester, Joe. You're trying to tell me that 1 semester at a mostly white institution in Mormon, Utah, which is not a liberal bastion, somehow just radicalized him? I mean, it really is showing folks the hand they're trying to play.
Yeah, and I think even on top of that, Roland, I think it was like some technical school. So it wasn't some crazy liberal arts school for a semester. Look, cut through all the BS. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has publicly said that America should be a white Christian country. This is what animates my former party. Roland, you know me, right? Tea Party Hellraiser. I don't come from the left. I left the Republican Party when the Republican Party became MAGA. And my fellow Democrats and folks on the left need to understand, now these people are on the right. Now this is MAGA. MAGA now are the snowflakes. MAGA, Roland, they now need their safe spaces. It's funny, but it's not funny. And you're right about J.D. Vance, man. he just flat out lied. I mean, the last 30-year history of political violence in this country, the vast majority of it is right-wing. It always has been. And they put out this lie that it's only on the left. It's not even, Roland, a both sides problem between the left and the right. There is political violence on the left, but the vast majority is on the right, and they know that, and they're lying because they're trying to inflame their base. And Roland, I hear from their base every day, and let me tell you something, they are inflamed. I mean, they are ready to march and grab their you-know-what. This is a scary time.
It is, and folks need to understand what is certainly at stake. Joe Walsh, I appreciate you joining us on the show.
History of the cross, known by their works. What's the history of the cross? 500-year history of the cross. Murder, rape, destruction, deception, enslavement, burning, terrorizing. To maintain a slavery system, you must terrorize the people 24/7. They terrorize people from Africa and America for 400 years. Constant terror, 24/7, rape, murder. In the name of Jesus. This was Christians, not Buddhists, not Hindus. Christians, in the name of Jesus, when they said Jesus cursed black people, they call them Ham, cursed them to be slaves and persecuted forever. In the name of Jesus, raped our women incessantly, pissed in our mouths, made us eat shit. And they took and tried to clean up, not clean it up, but make it look more fashionable, I guess, by calling it chitlins. That's after slavery, of course, after so-called slavery. Because what was endured was not slavery. Look up slavery. Look up slavery. It does include murder, rape, terror. This is a Holocaust. And then now they try to downplay it. Oh, that was 400 years ago. No, it wasn't 40 years ago. I don't care if it was a million years ago. It was 40 years ago. It lasts for 400 years. And it's enduring today. They took everything away from the slaves. Everything. Their name, their culture, their families, their religion, their minds, everything. Fed their children to alligators as alligator bait. And then they talk about what's going on in Gaza when they did 1,000 times worse. What's going over in Gaza now is simply just a miniature version of what they did. What they did was far worse than what's going on in Gaza. Gaza's bad. It's genocide. What they did was far worse and much longer. That's the legacy of Christianity. Murder, rape, disease. They wiped out the native population with genocide and disease. Smallpox blankets, knowing they was full with disease. Herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea from sleep with animals. So-called common cold was not common. Didn't exist here on this side of the world until they brought it here. Murder, rape. When they was raping out women, there was a cross hanging from their neck. And again, they taught black, and this was God's will. God's will. Enslavement of our people. And they continue on even today. That's the legacy of Christianity, the cross. So where's your rap sheet? Every time they arrest one of our people, your rap sheet. What's your rap sheet? How are you going to judge people for murder when you're guilty of murder beyond imagination for hundreds of years? Hundreds of years. Theft. You stole this land and murdered its people. And you crushed the native people here. When the braves would go out hunting, you would come into the camps like cowards and kill the women and smash the children's brains out on the hooves of your horses. This is the legacy of Christianity. That's the legacy of it. The question is, if instead of Columbus coming here, Dracula came here, Beelzebub, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Satan, and they all came instead of Columbus, what could they have done that Columbus and those that followed him did? Satan is the God of this world. That's the God they're serving. They have known him by their works. What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? Where's the works of Christianity? Evil, deception, mischief, bloodshedding. It goes on today. And what's going on in Gaza, just reflection and microcosm of what was done here in America for hundreds of years. Raped out women incessantly. They would even rape while they was out in the fields picking cotton. They would jump off their horse and tell them to bend over and rape them. And tell them to keep picking cotton while they was doing it. This is the kind of stuff that they would do. Make one slave defecate and slave in the mouth of another slave, and then bound it up so they couldn't spit it out for 7 days. That's a legacy of slavery. You did it all in the name of Jesus. There's a legacy of slavery. Legacy of slavery. 40 years plus. Legacy of Christianity. Legacy of the cross. That's the legacy. That's the true legacy. So whose works are those? Who are you serving? Who are you serving? The legacy of the cross. Where's your rap sheet, America? Gog? Where's your rap sheet, Magog? Britain? Where's your mayship? Where's your rap sheet? Antichrist, false Israel. What's your rap sheet? Then they colonized Africa. They're stealing for ripping off everyone. That's the legacy of Christianity. They've been ruling for over 500 years. And now, the threat of nuclear war to finish off everything. That's a legacy of Christianity in the name of your Jesus.
Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Put back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And the ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the old rhythm, crying, wanting to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied in chains themselves bound together. feet. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You and I, turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man said you were free. Remember that.
make it. Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Put it back to their people. When they was put up on the shores of North America. And the ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied in chains themselves bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will, you are now turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you were free. Remember that.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here, Veteran of Covenant. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's been a year now, and We're finally home after 40 years in Arabia. I'm reporting to you from Arabia. Finally home after 40 years. Right? And so we've been here a year now. And there was an agreement made, a former slave master. He said, we had a choice. Stay here or leave. Right? So we chose our inheritance, Arabia. So we left. And half the original people decided they wanted to give up their inheritance and trade it for a place in America in reconciliation with their former slave master. That's their choice. They chose, said, we don't want to go over to Arabia. We don't go over there sand and all that stuff. We want to stay here in America. We've been here all our lives, been here 40 years, born here, right? And we can make peace with our slave master. Okay, so they decided to stay. And so after a year, right, we're getting reports of how things are going over there. And it doesn't sound too good. How things are going over in America with their reparations. Because they was given, they got 6 states, I believe. Yeah, see? Yeah. Yeah, they got those 6 states right there. That's what Farrakhan told them. You know, they was listening to Farrakhan. Farrakhan promised them, you know, they stay there, 6 states, right? Had their own land. And they can make reconciliation with the former slave master. They're not devils. They're not devils. They're human beings. They just had a rough, you know, they were just, you know, did some things wrong, but now they, you know, they're gonna make amends and make reparations. So 6 states, and in addition to that, they gave everybody $1 million. Everybody stayed $1 million. Okay? Say, thank you, Farrakhan. They're so happy. Thank you, Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. Man, you got 6 states. That's what you promised us. We got 6 states. They're thanking you. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? And you know, I mean, this was a year ago. They got the 6 states. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? Everybody got $1 million. Everybody $1 million. And they're rejoicing. Oh man, they're so happy. Hey, we came here. We made it. We got America, man. We got reconciliation for a master. We got 6 states. Everybody got $1 million. We're all rich. That was a year ago when we left. Okay, so we're in Arabia. They're still back there in America. And now we're getting reports a year later. This was the way it was a year ago, man. They were so happy. They were so happy. Right? And now we get reports of what's going on right now. Let's see. Oops, it says a power failure. Great power failure in those 6 states. Power failure. And it's just those 6 states. Right? So, and now they had a big and massive, they came asking to turn the power. Well, why can't they do it? Oh, Farrakhan didn't train anybody. He was telling you about 6 states, but he never prepared you for them. So nobody knows how to do it. How to turn the power grid back on. So now he's begging, man, master, can you come and turn this thing back on for us? I mean, you would think that if he told him 6 states to promise him that he would have prepared him for it, right? Their schools and education, whatever they needed for that. But now I guess they didn't, because they said over there now he's begging the former master to come and turn the power back on. And then what? I mean, this is all that's happening now. I mean, I'm getting these imports in now. A year later, it's like they're coming in every hour. Power grid failure, right? Then say, oops, crop failure. All of a sudden, there's no. They looked at the farmers, wasn't they doing the farmers said, oh. So then they asked master, what's happening here? How come right? Our crop. They found that the land they gave them wasn't that fertile. A year later, nothing's growing. Crop failure. And now they master, what's happening here? Right? And then, I mean, all these things, every hour that's coming in, right? And then they look, and they had, a year ago they had plenty of food on the shelves, right? And now, they look there now and all the food's gone. It's gone. And she said, what am I going to do here? Food's gone. The house is empty. So he said, Master, we need some food. Well, how come you can't put your own food? I mean, you want your own country. You got your own states. That's your country. Then you run it. What are you calling us for? Right? So they'll be praying. And then, oops, no fuel. There's master, no fuel there. Well, you got to buy your fuel. You got to produce your own fuel. What you calling us for? You got your own 6 states now. What you calling us for? Go and get some fuel. You got money, right? You got your own states. So you got to get your own. What you calling us for? You said you wanted your own, so now you got it. And you got your reparation, so we don't owe you anything anymore. We don't owe you anything anymore, so what you calling us for? We don't owe you anything. You said you agreed to 6 states and $1 million per person. You took that instead of your inheritance, what you call the Abrahamic covenant, Arabia. Your brothers and sisters, they left. They took that was offered to them. They took it, and you said no. I want this instead. So now you got it. So what you calling us for? Oh, no communications. Oh man. No communications, right? No medical facilities. So what's going on, Master? Wait a minute, hold on. That's you. What you calling us for? That's yours. You got to handle that stuff. You want us to handle it for you? You want independence, now you have it. I mean, wow, this stuff was coming every hour, man. Instead of like a year, they was celebrating. And now they crying and begging the master, hey, we got all these problems here. I said, wait a minute, that's yours. Where you come about your problems? You have to work those out. Right? No transportation, I mean, no planes, or nowhere. We learned about fly the planes and drive the trucks and the boats and stuff, and to go and get this stuff. What would you tell us for? You wanted this, you got it. So go ahead and get to train your own pilots, build your own planes, build your own boats, and right? You see what I'm saying? Transportation, build your own trucks. What you calling for? Yeah, Master, we see this. You said you wanted 6 states, you got it. You want $1 million per person. That was the reparations. So then if you didn't prepare people to take care of this, how's that our problem? You're independent now. You're really free now. Oops, no fuel, the gas station's empty. I can't drive, man. And no gas. Man, wow. All this stuff happened like for a year. They thought that everything was great, and all of a sudden everything ran out. So guess what happened? Everything was there when they got it, and then it ran out. They had to, for them to replace the fuel, to get the farms going. So they was left with that stuff. The factory was full. I mean, warehouses full. Then you had to keep they thought that was just going to, I guess they thought it was just going to be there, just by itself. They didn't prepare for it. See? And they ain't trained any engineers and scientists and architects and stuff. They business, they didn't train anybody. So Farrakhan, he told you he's going to get this for you, but he didn't prepare you for it. He didn't get anybody to handle this stuff. So what was that all about? So now he asked the master, said, hey, don't call on me. You was here, you had it when you was here with me. You said you want independence, you wanted reparations, so you gave it to you. Well, calling your brothers over there. They left, they handled their own business. You said you want to stay here. Right? See? You don't have any professionals or technicians, scientists, doctors, none of that. See? I mean, that's what, because I mean, if you're going to set reparation, you should be preparing for that, right? So if he was telling you about reparation, you should be preparing for it. If he said God said that's where you're going to get you, so if God told him he's going to get that for you, then he should, like when God told Noah there was a flood coming, to only build an ark, so he started building an ark. And so you should start preparing for the 6 states and the reparations, but apparently you didn't. And so now, he tells you, look, hold it. We want total separation. Look, we don't want you to call us no more. We don't want you to call us no more. Because you're wearing us. You want your own country. You got your own land. Right? You got money, $1 million, all this stuff, right? And so now we got to protect your money and everything too? No, you have to create your own money. You have to do all these things, your own wealth, not ours. Right? So we're going to cut you off from that too. That's all economics. So they go and tell it. They tell all the people all the white folks, right? Because all the black folks, and all the black folks is either in Arabia or in those 6 states. That's the solution. You had to be one way or the other. There couldn't be no integration, that kind of stuff. That's the deal. You just said one or the other. So all the black folks are there, ain't no integration, that kind of stuff, right? Black folks are there, one or the other, so they're there. So he said, okay, right? So they just say, we're going to take that money because we don't know what y'all do over there. You have your own money, you have your own wealth. So what they do is they tell all the white folks, say, protect your money, right? Transfer your money into gold. Just all your dollars into gold. Okay. Now remember, they gave everybody $1 million a piece. So everybody got $1 million a piece, right? And so they transfer it to gold. And then what happens is that what they do is they start just printing money. White folks just start printing money. You understand what that means? That's inflation. Right? Because if you got $1 million of gold, a million ounces of gold, say a million ounces of gold, understand this, and you got 1 million certificates, then you say each certificate is worth 1 ounce. If you got 1 million ounces, each certificate is worth 1 ounce. Understand that? If you got 1 million ounces of gold and you got 1 million certificates, each one of those certificates is worth 1 million. If you want to say trade with the certificates, each one of the certificates is worth 1 ounce of gold. Right? But if you take and print, you say you got 1 million ounces of gold and you got 1 million certificates, each one. But say you print twice as many certificates, you got 2 million. Well, then each certificate is only worth 50 cents now because you got to connect that to the gold. Well, you print 4 times, then each one is worth a quarter. So the more you print, the less they worth because those certificates has to equal what the gold is. You understand? So the more you print money, the less, right? The less they're worth. So if you print twice as much money, right, there's less gold. You understand? So if $1 is worth 1 ounce of gold, which that's right, then if you print double that amount of dollars, then each one's worth half an ounce. You understand? That's what printing money without increasing their wealth does. That's inflation. So what happens is they keep printing. They get down to where $100 is worth a penny. But see, that doesn't affect their people. They told to protect their money because they transfer their money to gold. So gold still has its value. It's just the dollars don't. It still got the same amount of gold. But the dollars, they get down to a penny. So you can't buy it. You had $1 million, now your $1 million worth of $5. That's all it's worth. $1 hardly worth anything. Hey, that's our money. You gotta have your own money, you control your own wealth. You can't keep coming at us what you're doing. And you think they wouldn't do that? Yeah, you've been a Gaza lately? You see what happened to the trees they made with the so-called natives? Kept telling me you had a forked tongue because they kept making trees with them, then they broke the trees. And took their land and genocide and everything else. But no, they wouldn't do that to you. See? Because now you have, your money's worth nothing. They haven't lost anything. Because once that money's worthless, it's no good, right? Then you bury it up, throw it away, it's worth nothing. The people still got gold. And even if they take it, hold on to money, hope to increase again, they're just using another different certificate, using another form of money. So it's still worth nothing. That $1 million you had, you was so happy with now, it's probably worth maybe $1. So you can't buy anything with $1. Plus the economy's collapse because everything is failing, and you don't know how to repair it. You don't know how to get those communications. You don't know how to do any of this stuff. You're not an engineer, build a house, you don't know how to do anything because Farrakhan didn't. Right? He didn't prepare you. He told you he'll give you 6 days. He told you, listen to me, right? So now you're broke and your economy is gone. You have no food, no electricity, no power, anything, right? It's not their fault. They gave you what you asked for. You saw at your inheritance for that. And then they closed the border. Because you're going to try to get back into America now. We want to come back in, Master. No, we don't want you back in here. We sorry, we want to come in. No. That's you chose. You stay there. They closed the border, so you can't get back in here. You can't get back in America, into what you can call your land now. Swaziland or something? Farrakhan. Maybe call it travel land. Farrakhan. They met the Farrakhan. Right? So they close the borders, you can't. Because now you're hungry and everything else, your money's worthless. Oh God, come back, Master, I'll come back work for you, I'll work for Popeyes, I'll do anything you want. No, remember, now blacks, either they over in Arabia or they in that land. There are no blacks in America, any places, just in that land that you 6 days. And now you're starving, you ain't got your money's worthless, nothing works, and they close the border. Right? And then you see Master, you on the phone, you talking to the guy that you kept treating, help you. Hey, we finally got rid of niggas. Finally got rid of them. See on the phone. Yeah, it worked. We sold them no reparations. We sold them that used car. You turned the miles back and everything else, and they bought it. See? They could have had a BMW. They could have had a Lamborghini. They sold that for a BMW that looked good. Damn thing didn't work. And now they're starving, living in tents. Praying. So what? Then what next? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? You told us to take reparations, so we did. But they gave us everything we asked for. What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do? Pray. That's his answer. Pray. That's your reparations. Like Elijah Muhammad said, he had a big picture. We leaving, and blacks staying on the shore, the ones stay behind, and they was whooping their ass. Right? Because they thought you think they want to give you some land and take care of you? You think they want to do that? And go bankrupt, give everybody $1 million? How much that is? If it's 17 million, 17 million times 17 million times a million is like $17 trillion, I think, something like that there. And they're gonna do all that for you. They want to get rid of you. So now they have succeeded. Because they closed the border, and what you gonna do? You gonna fight to come out? They closed the border. They got the military around there. They finally got rid of you. No more black problem, no more Negro problem anymore. One group's out of here, another group that's here. They're gone, and our hands are clean. We gave them what they wanted. Well, anything. Okay. God honors contracts. Remember, he honored the contract with Jacob. Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of soup to Jacob, which was Esau's inheritance, and God honored it. Okay, Jacob, it's yours. You're the one. And that's the deal. Because he ain't your friend. Farrakhan ain't your friend. Pray, pray, pray. That's the answer. And this homeland you was promised, you rejected it. So now you got what you asked for. So if they gave you reparations today or tomorrow, how would that scenario not play out like that? Well, they say, okay, you got it. Tell me how the scenario wouldn't play out like that. And tell me why they wouldn't do it. They love you so much, they're going to say, okay, we're going to take care of them. I mean, why should they go out their way to take care of you when you was right here? You was working at Popeyes and living in the get up on Section 8, all that stuff right here. Because they're trying to get rid of that stuff right now. Trump's trying to get rid of all that stuff right now. Because they're closing on you don't realize it. Anyway, that's just, that's what's happening over in America. Wow. Boys, come here. Disaster over there. And, I just got a call. Oh, wait, hold on. Really? You serious? Our ambassador just got a call from I don't know what they call it Conland or something. I forgot what it's something to call it there. That 6th day. They begged us to come and help. Can they come over here? Can we come and get them? Really? Can we come and get them and bring them? Oh no. Now he went and asked Master Farad Muhammad, right? He said, no, hell no. We ain't going to get them. And I agree with that. Yeah, the Master said he said, let's call him, and he passed the word to Master Farad Muhammad. Master Muhammad said, send him back. Master, no, we can't come and get you. You made your choice, live with it. Or die, whatever the situation is. Wow. I can't believe that. They actually, right, sent a message over. I don't know how they did. I don't have any communication with it. Somehow they got the information over to them. Said, would we please come and get them? Nope. Said, no, tell them no. And don't waste time communicating with us anymore. You got your land, you got your reparations, you got your money, you got Farrakhan as your leader. Yeah, tell him, talk to him, let him straighten out for you. He didn't want to sell you the idea. He was a salesman. So you on that idea of reparations. We told you. Right? Suleiman, right? He was the messenger to you, telling you, look, man, let's go home. You said no. You chose not to. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's a sad story. But I guess that's it. Is that it? Oh, so they might get any more reports on papers. Okay, he says that was Matthew Prophet Muhammad's final decision, and I think they closed communications off from there. So, like I said, brothers and sisters, we got those rides that came in. All that came in today, man, came in fast. After a whole year. Total collapse. Now they begging it, somebody help them. We can't do it. Maybe Master help you. We won't do it. Assalamu alaikum. Update, brothers and sisters, got another late report in that they said, well, if you want to come and get us, well, we at least send them some food. They begged, said, please send us some food. Master Muhammad said, we got to send them a damn thing, nothing, zero. He said, please just send us some food. No, I just got that in. He says, if you can't come and get us, please send us some food. He says, no, he refused. That's the report. I just got the information from the ambassador. He said, they sent that, and he's read to me. He says, no. He said, please, just please send us some food. He said, no way. You made your choice, case closed. Okay, just got that in, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.